Well, hello Coast Vineyard. I hope you're doing well on this blustery, cold, windy, crazy Tuesday. I've just snuck away from the kids for a few moments to bring you this midday moment. I hope you're doing well and that you had a good Easter time. We had some fun starting some new traditions. We did a Easter kids stations of the cross in our backyard. Stanley got out the hammer and nails and even made us a cross, and we trooped around the backyard finding little treasures that represented Jesus' journey on the Friday, and then of course the lovely Easter egg hunt which the girls loved on Sunday. Wasn't Sunday morning service so cool, seeing our worship team come together, recording their worship individually in their own homes, and then our amazing editors bringing that together so that we could have that sense of worshipping together. It brought tears to my eyes, I guess, just showing me the love that people have for God and for the body, and just the resilience of the church, hey, that no matter what's going on around us, the circumstances going on, that we will continue to worship God, we will continue to come together, even if that's virtually, to lift his name up high in worship. And one of the songs that we sung on Sunday had this line, "My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love." And I was reflecting on that song and thinking how true that line was. And you know, as we headed into lockdown a few weeks ago, there was understandably a lot of fear around. And for me personally, I struggled with a sense of panic around our business that we own, and a few other things. And in reflecting back on what God has done over these times, I just felt it was really important to encourage us not to forget his great faithfulness, not only corporately, when we read the news and we look at what's going on around us, but individually, personally. What has God done for us in this time that has shown us his love and shown us his faithfulness? You know, for me, on the Monday before we knew what was going to happen on that afternoon, I dropped the kids off at school that morning, and I just happened to have a conversation with one of the dads who I never really talked to. And he said to me, "Oh, we're going to be in level 4 by Wednesday." Straight away, just fear hit me as he said that. And I said to him, "How do you know that? Are you just speculating?" And he said, "No, I've got a couple of friends who are high up in the Ministry of Health, and they know what's happening." Well, as I was driving, leaving school, heading to the supermarket, I just thought, isn't that interesting that God kind of gave me an early heads up about that? And then who do I pull into the supermarket next to? Right next to me was our accountant, the lovely Rachel Humphrey. And I was able to stand waiting with our trolleys outside in the line and just chat to her and say, "Look, I've just heard this. I'm feeling really afraid and worried. Can you let me know what I need to do?" And she was just able to say, "Go straight home, do this, 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 and this, and you'll be okay." You know, every time I feel worried and afraid in these last few weeks about our business and about finances, I've remembered that time, and I've remembered the fact that God knew what I needed on that Monday. He knew that I needed a heads up. He knew that I needed to see our accountant. And that helped me not only allay fear in the moment, but in subsequent weeks when I've started to feel worried about the business, I've said to myself, remember God's faithfulness. Remember God's faithfulness on that Monday. That faithfulness will continue. You don't need to fear. And that's one of the ways I guess I've been standing in his love in this time, is by bringing to mind, recalling what he has done already, his great faithfulness to us. You know, and other smaller things like our kids' emotions at this time. You know, our kids have been struggling and a bit up and down with their emotions, and I've started to feel worried about them. I was just sitting at the table talking to Stanley about one of our girls' behaviour and how I was feeling concerned, and there just happened to be a worship song playing in our lounge, and I can't remember the exact words, but it basically was just saying, you know, when you're afraid, ask me and I'll tell you what to do when you don't know what to do. And I thought, isn't that just God's love and faithfulness? Here I am talking about my fears and worries, and this line in a song comes in that gives me the answer. gives me a step forward of what to do. And so I just wanted to encourage us today that when fear comes, when worry, when anxiety comes, to stand in God's love. Yes, not just the feelings of God's love or the generic concept of God's love, but to call to mind his great faithfulness individually to us in those situations in the past. Lamentations 3 says, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed. His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness, God. So I just thank God for his faithfulness to me, and when that fear comes, I'm trying really hard to remember what he has done in those specific situations and remind myself that I do not need to fear, that great is his faithfulness to me and great is his love, and that is the same for you. So just encourage you to perhaps take a couple of minutes to spend some time remembering his faithfulness today. Be blessed. Love you guys and can't wait to see you again soon.